AP Gov, here we go. Okay, it's a pretty big section. Talks about political parties, PACs, 527s, a bunch of stuff going on here. Okay, you got your main concepts we will work with later. Okay, they're pretty important. You got political parties. I know it's hard to read. Okay, but in the U.S., all right, we have a two-party system. We got the Democrats and Republicans. These are our major two parties. Okay, they've been like this for a while in our electoral system. Okay, so we have independents run, but independents will hardly ever win. It's never going to happen. Okay, we always have our Democrats. They're always going to be against the Republicans. Okay, if you look at this little keynote here on the left, it says the framers of the Constitution dislike political parties and hope to prevent them. So when they first created the Constitution, they wanted nothing to do with political parties. Okay, they had nothing to do with it. Okay, but in the U.S. we have a two-party system. We have the Democrats and we have the Republicans. Okay, so we got our party characteristics. The main purpose for each political party is to get their candidates elected for office. So like during our elections, okay, like our last election, there were 16 Republican candidates. Okay, your Republicans are going to nominate as many people they think that can beat the Democrats as they can possible. Okay, so their main purpose, okay, you see where it's highlighted, the main purpose of a political party is to get candidates elected to office. The candidates must raise their own money for primaries. So when you got to 16, that's the primaries. Then they're going to narrow it down to eventually just one candidate. Just think of our last election. You had all these 16 Republicans. You had, I think, 7 or 8 Democrats. They narrowed it down to Trump versus Hillary. Okay? So your primaries is your very first group when we're trying to, when everybody's running. This is when on TV you'll see 2 or 3 different debates. They'll go at each other. Okay? But for the primaries, all right, the candidates must raise their money. So, and remember, raising money is key. All right? Nothing is free. All right? So, we got the two-party system. We got the major purpose is the candidates get elected to beat the opposite party. All right? The functions of modern political parties. Okay? There's different functions. For example, political parties perform all the following functions. For example, recruit and nominate candidates. Okay? You can go through this. You should read through this, which is, pretty important. Okay, they educate. Okay, they provide support, financial. All right, funds. They organize the government activities, and so on. Make sure you have highlighted what I have highlighted. Hint, hint. Okay, make sure you go through this. Party coalitions. This is huge. You will definitely see this on my test, my quizzes, and you will definitely see this on your AP final. Okay? So, there are tendencies for Republicans and there are tendencies for Democrats. That's not saying all Republicans are this and all Democrats are this. I'm nowhere saying that. I'm saying that there is a majority of the certain Republicans that go with this and the certain Democrats that go with this. Okay? So let's look at a couple of these. Okay? Veteran groups of military supporters. Okay? That's majority Republican. Okay? Libertarians. Religious conservatives. Opponents of gay marriage. Okay? If you look out at the bottom, gay marriage supporters. What does that mean? All Democrats support gay marriage? No. Okay? But if you look at the trends, you look at the numbers, these are the facts. Okay? Feminist, environmentalist. If you have people that care about environment, most of the time they're going to think of Democrats. All right? Pro-choice. That's talks about abortion. All right? African and Hispanic Americans, or members of labor unions. All right? Low incomes. Okay? I would make sure I had this memorized. If I was you, I would write this chart in my notebook. I would write down Republican coalition, Democrat coalition. Okay? But that's not saying all of them. That's just saying by the numbers, these are the facts. Okay? Hint, hint. I'm going to ask you on your quiz to name me some examples of the Democrat coalition and Republican coalition. Okay, this is big. All right, you already got this chart written down. You got it in your notes. This is big too. Okay, these are more tendencies, not guarantees, but tendencies. Okay, party realignment versus de-alignment. All right, I'll just go ahead and tell you, party realignment. The Republicans now are what the Democrats used to be. That's easy as it is. Every now and then, the parties realign to a new party. Okay? Read through this. De-alignment is a little different. Usually a result of party members becoming disaffected as a result of some policy position taken the party. De-alignment does not happen as much. De-alignment usually happens when there's a large catastrophe or something big, like the Great Depression. The parties de-aligned. Okay? Read this box in your notes. You'll have this handout. I'd put a star beside this. Okay? Third parties. If you can read it, I know it's a little blurry. Sorry. Make sure you know what splinter and bolt parties are. Make sure you underline doctrinal parties, single issue parties, and independent candidates. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. I'm going to ask you, why do third parties fail? And the main reason third parties fail is because they don't have enough money. You'll see some people run for like independents on the election. They're never going to win because they can never raise enough money. And usually they're going to have a specific a goal. That they might be a going green party, environmental party. So that an independent person might have an idea about the environment. Well, usually your Republican or Democrats, our two-party system, they're going to take in that idea eventually, and the third party is usually going to fail. Okay, I'm going to ask you why they fail. The main reasons is because they don't have enough money, and the second reason is usually that your major two parties are going to say, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe I'll do that too, and they're going to take that idea from them. Okay, next we got interest groups. Interest groups are big. Okay, interest groups are big. Interest groups are usually a certain group of people that have a certain goal. Maybe your NRA, National Rifle Association. They have a goal. Okay? Usually, they're going to get a Republican to try to adapt their goal. Another example, the NAACP. Most of the time, they're going to get the Democrats to adopt their goal. There's different interest groups that try to get their points across in many different ways. Okay? There are many different ways they're going to get their points across. And one example is by lobbying. And you need to know what this word means. Okay? There's certain ways they can lobby or try to persuade different people to get their points across. Okay? So you got different groups. You got economic groups. You got public groups. You got government groups. There's different types. So for example, direct lobbying. Let's look at this. Direct lobbying. Representatives of interest group meet privately. So just know, when they meet direct lobbying, they meet directly. Yes. Good job. You're smart. Okay? So direct lobbying is when they meet directly. There's different types. Okay? They can testify before Congress. Okay? They socialize political donations. Money's always big. Endorsements. Think about it. When you have a public figure endorse your product, it happens all the time. Just look at every commercial as an endorsement of something. All right? If I was a political candidate and I said, hey, LeBron James, come endorse this for me. Hey, if I was a fan of LeBron James, you think I might say, hey, if LeBron's going to do it, maybe it's a good idea. Okay? So not too bad. So know what endorsements are. Know some examples of the lobbying. Okay? Moving on quickly. You should be reading through all this. All right. Zoom in. You need to familiarize yourself with this chart. Citizens United versus the Federal Elections Commission. Huge court case. Buckley versus Valeo. Huge court case. Make sure you know it. Go through it. PACs, Political Action Committees. Talks about the Federal Election Campaign Act. FECA. Guarantee there will be at least one question on your quiz, and I promise you it'll be on your AP final. They will talk about political action committees. All right. This is talking about how much money they can give a candidate. There's limits on everything. All right. The videos you watched in my PowerPoint go over all this. Okay. The Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act, the BCRA, McCain-Feingold Act, Citizens United. You need to familiarize yourself with these court cases. They are huge. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put each one of these court cases on your quiz. 100%. Citizens United. Know what the court case does. Buckley versus Valeo. Know what the court case does. And the McCain-Feingold Act. Those three court cases, I promise you I will put on your quiz. Know what the 527 groups are. And the super PACs. Okay? Know the differences. Real quick, we got hard money versus soft money. This is big. So, hard money versus soft money, I'm going to just sum it up real quick. Hard money means they're going to tightly regulate how much money you can give the candidate. Soft money, they're not going to regulate it as much. Okay? This McCain-Feingold Act is going to limit it. Alright? I've given you your handouts. I don't think I put the summary up here. I didn't. Okay? Look at the summary page that I printed off for you. It is big. Go through the summary page, all right, and be able to explain each one of the bullet points, and I think you'll be pretty good on this quiz. All right? Later.